KMOX News.
From KMOX Sports, this is the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning. Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs. Now from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
You know, we've got 2 games going on in St. Louis, so we got to keep an eye on that radar. We have 2 games going on at the same time. You just heard the weather forecast from Scott Jago. That's going to be everybody's question as they head downtown. Are we going to get rained on or not? The Cardinals play at 1:15 and City plays at 1:15. So a pair of games. That's exciting, no doubt about it. The rain, as I see it right now, is we have bright sun in downtown St. Louis, is gone for the moment. But as I watch this, I see that around, let's see, probably the end of this show, close to noon, there's going to be a small shower passing us to the south and east and pushing out to the northeast. But then another batch starts up at around 1, but it's my hope, at least, but just basing on this radar tracking, is that it's going to miss us to the south and east again. Looks like maybe like at the start of the game, there's a chance we could get a shower, but the big storm stuff is pushing off to the Metro East, like Cape Girardeau into Carbondale, Mount Vernon, all up into even flowing up into Champaign, like that stretch of storms in Illinois. So hopefully it does miss us to the south and east. I hope. Because we've got 2 huge games today. The Cardinals play, City plays. The Blues played last night. The Battlehawks played on Friday. And guess what? Everybody's been successful, except for City, who lost at Philadelphia. But City has only given up 1 goal all year. Got to figure out some offense. The Cardinals, they're 2-0 and in first place in the NL Central. And they're scoring runs. They've scored 10 runs on 20 hits to start the year. This is the Cardinals' first inning yesterday against the Twins.
Arenado swings, grounds it up the middle, base hit center field. Here comes the first run of the game. Lars Nootbaar scores. Arenado with his second RBI.
Nolan Arenado, and of course Nootbaar's right in the middle of it. He had 2 hits on opening day, and here he is again scoring a run. And then the Cardinals' Eric Fedde, after giving up a run in the second inning on a Castro RBI double, locks it down. Fedde finishes 6 innings, allowing 1 run on 2 hits. That's it. No walks, 2 strikeouts. 6th inning, the Cardinals reward him. Bottom of the 6th, Ivan Herrera.
The go-ahead run is Arenado at second. The pitch. A swing and a ground ball up the middle. A base hit to center field. Here's Arenado around third. Buxton up with the ball. His throw goes to the middle infield. Herrera drives in Arenado for a 2-1 Cardinal lead in the 6th.
The inning gets to Mason Wynn eventually, but he strikes out. Next batter, top of the order, Lars Nootbaar.
Strike pitch for Nootbaar. He swings and drives it into center for a hit. The Cardinals score Burleson. The Cardinals score Herrera. The throw goes to the middle infield and back in safely at second, Jordan Walker. Nootbaar with another big day. And the Cardinals lead 4-1 in the 6th inning.
Good start here for Lars Nootbaar. Had a home run on opening day. He's had 4 hits so far. The big hit there. Cardinals win at 5-1 over the Twins, and they go for the sweep today. 1:15 first pitch for Andre Palante. It is exciting right now to see what the Cardinals are doing. We have an announcement about the Gas House Gang. We have a special guest who is going to be joining us starting this Tuesday, every Tuesday, for the first half hour of the show. And I don't need to tease it any longer, do I? It's going to be Cardinals manager Oliver Marmol. He is going to join us beginning every Tuesday at 12:05 on the Gas House Gang with Chris Ranji, Bernie Miklasz, and me. The 4 of us will sit around, talk baseball, and answer your questions and ask him all the pertinent questions, no doubt about it. He is ready for it and is excited about it. We look forward to spending some more time with Cardinals manager Oliver Marmol here on KMOX, the voice of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM. That's going to take place on the Gas House Gang at 12:05 every Tuesday. So it's great to have Ollie back in the fold in our KMOX sports coverage. As we continue on today, we'll have a 12:20 pregame with Joe Pott. I just saw him in the parking garage. He's heading over to Busch Stadium and is excited about today. It's great to always hear him on the broadcast. And then John Rooney, Ricky Horton, Mike Claiborne will do their thing. Jim Jackson, Ryan Schulte. We've got some crew this year on the broadcasts. We also, as I mentioned, are watching this St. Louis Blues team. We have City that's playing really well, although they dropped one at Philadelphia. They have a big game today against Austin. The Battlehawks beat Houston 31-6 on Friday, just on national TV, just destroyed them in front of, a handful of people. What do they draw, like 8,000 down there now? How many will be in the Dome on next Sunday night? I'm going to say they'll push 30, won't they? Somewhere in that range, maybe more. They draw big crowds, and it's the opener, and it's Sunday, 5:30 at the Dome. We are going to get into some football discussion here as well. Coming up at 10:30 on this show, we're going to hear from Jarveon Howard, who set the single-season rushing mark for the Battlehawks in a 74-yard touchdown run against Houston, was the longest that the UFL has had. Marc Schreiber on the Frozen Four following Mr. Howard at 10:45. The Sports Commission president will tell us about all the latest coming up here to Enterprise Center. The NCAA Tournament. We'll get into that at 11:05 today with Florida and Duke advancing. And we are waiting on Michigan State, Auburn, as well as Houston and Tennessee. We'll touch on the women's side as well. Paige Beckers with a ridiculous 40 points for UConn last night. And we'll get you updated on all that at 11:05. 11:15, Lutz Pfannenstiel, sporting director for City, live from Energizer Park as this City team taking on Austin wants to get some offense going. You may see Klaus today. Might see a little bit more Klaus today than you possibly would expect, and we'll explain about that. John Mozeliak at 11:30 and Bernie Miklasz at 11:45. Big show today, Sports on a Sunday Morning. When we come back, we'll get into what happened to the Blues in Denver, and oh, is it good. Back after this.
Your home for St. Louis Cardinals baseball. 104.1 FM. KMOX.
Start the new year off right with your best vision for 2024. This is Megan Lynch for Ophthalmology Associates. Now's the time to schedule your annual eye exam. It's what I'm doing for my entire family. The doctors of Ophthalmology Associates are experts in diagnosis and treatment of diseases of the eye. Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, Andy Royer, and Samuel Berry. Call for an appointment today, 314-966-5000, or you can get more information at youridoc.com. One of the conditions they can test and treat is dry eye. When the furnace is running, you're at greater risk for dry eye disease. The doctors of Ophthalmology Associates can prescribe the perfect eye drops to prevent and treat dry eye. Ophthalmology Associates is located at 12990 Manchester Road, a half mile west of I-270 on eastbound Manchester Road. Call Ophthalmology Associates 314-966-5000 or youridoc.com.
Hey, it's Jim Costa with Cash the Ticket. It's March, so Mike Valenti and I are all over the tournament again this year. There's just nothing like betting in March. Breakdowns of every region and every game. From conference tournaments to the Final Horn, we'll have the picks and the plays on every single game. Cinderella spotlights, upset alerts, and some of that value for the last team standing. It's tourney time, so hunker down and bet the board with us. Subscribe and listen to Cash the Ticket in the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, Mia here at the winnings desk of the Missouri Lottery. So, I wanted to write a thank you note for every dollar Missouri Lottery players have given to Missouri and education, but that would be 8.4 billion notes. So to save a little time and a whole lot of paper, here's just one. Dear every single lottery player in Missouri, thank you for helping us give $8.4 billion to Missouri and education. Sorry, my trumpet's in the shop. The Missouri Lottery. Winners welcome and play responsibly.
Are you a small business owner who needs immediate cash flow? At Swish Funding, we have flexible funding options from $25,000 to $2 million. For the best rates and terms for your business, just one application to Swish Funding gives you access to our entire network of funders, with cash in your account in as little as 24 hours. To qualify, you must be in business for at least 1 year with monthly revenue of $50,000. Apply at swishradio.com and use code RADIO. SwishRadio.com, code RADIO.
It's a great time to move up to McKelvey Homes. Come discover Cottleville Trails, a stunning community designed with your convenience in mind. Located with easy access to Highway 364 in Goodermuth, this beautiful neighborhood is connected to charming downtown Cottleville. Take advantage of up to $70,000 in savings on our 7 move-in ready market homes, or take advantage of our Black Label package on the to-be-built Liberty Series homes. Move up to McKelvey and find your dream home at Cottleville Trails.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WEALTH25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WEALTH25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code WEALTH25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Now, back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning on 104.1 KMOX. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
Our producer this morning is James O'Sullivan. I'm Tom Ackerman. It is always great to be with you on Sunday mornings, especially when we have the amount of sports that we have going on right now. And I would say that even if the Cardinals did not do well in the first two games, I would say, hey, baseball's back. Let's try to figure this thing out, grow with the team. We knew it was going to be a struggle at times. And then they come out and they deliver a 1-2 punch. It's early, but the Cardinals are 2-0, and that's very exciting. You know who's established themselves right now, though, as a real deal playoff contender? The St. Louis Blues. They look phenomenal. I mean, I would not want to get in their way right now. And that win yesterday, I am here to tell you, is, to me, the most impactful win of all, because they won 8 straight games, and it would be every excuse to say, well, eventually you can't win them all, or, well, they had to go to Colorado, and Colorado is hot, and they've won 11 straight at home, and that's tough. No, they go in there. Colorado, a team that only gives up 2 goals a game, they go in there and they beat them 2-1. Oh, you want to play? You want to play a little rough? You want to play physical? Blues delivered that. You want to play a low-scoring defensive type game? Sure, we can do that. You want to bring some speed? We can bring some speed now, is what the Blues seem to be looking towards when they take on the Colorado Avalanche. This was a tremendous hockey game yesterday that the Blues won 2-1, and they did it with great play across the board. You start with Jordan Binnington, of course, who made 28 saves in the game and was unbelievable down the stretch. Late in the second period on a power play, and then late in the game on a 6-on-5 when they pulled their goaltender. Jordan Binnington was in Stanley Cup mode, no question. Zach Bolduc looks great. He scored a goal. Pavel Buchnevich banged one in front of the net, putting away the rebound of a shot by Ryan Suter. That puck just trickled inside the post and past Mackenzie Blackwood, and the Blues took a 2-1 lead, and they won the game 2-1 over the Avalanche. Only goal for the Avalanche was scored by Nathan McKinnon in the first period, a minute after Bolduc scored. After that, they locked it down. And the Blues, you just feel like when the game is getting close to the end, they will not give it away, no matter how treacherous that looked. Here's Coach Jim Montgomery.
Yes and no. They make so many plays. They're such a good hockey team, but we protect ice really well. I mean, we gave them the outside, and we collapsed it in that well. We won the battles. It's very impressive. It's the end of 10 and 17 games. We went 9-1. We lost the first one. It's very impressive what we're doing right now.
I was going to say, Jim, is the buy-in right now, was it evidenced by the sacrifice of the bodies and the block shots, and like you said, just taking away the middle of the ice and guys putting it on the line?
I think the buy-in has been evident with the block shots. The Bucci goal is a great example, right? People sacrificing at the net front, screen, rebound, put the puck in. I think that's why, you see it on newspapers and the social media stuff. Like, there's something going on special right now, and it's great to be a part of it. I'm very grateful to be here.
When you have that sort of feeling, can you kind of feel it coming in the third period? I mean, when you're going into a tied game in a tough building.
Our third periods have been excellent here for maybe this entire run. And our game management has been excellent. We've got into the last 2 third periods expecting to win. And that's what's happening, because they believe, and when you believe, you can achieve.
The first period a little bit maybe open to your liking, and how do you feel like you were able to kind of narrow the gap and limit opportunities moving forward?
Yeah, I thought the first period was a great period. I thought we had a lot of opportunities. Thought they did. It was offensive. Both teams tightened up in the second. And then the third, I thought we executed really well. We drew 3 penalties. They made some great saves. Benner was fantastic. It's just really good. It's playoff hockey. It's what we're going to be seeing.
Could you kind of feel a buzz in the building too? It seemed like whenever a play was developing, you could kind of hear it in the building.
I just think that's, I don't know if it's a buzz because of the game. Like, I just think it's the Avs when they start to roll and they have their speed going, and fans get really excited here.
As far as Thomas goes, just what can you say about the way that he is playing the game and setting his teammates up?
He's been instrumental. He's been unreal. He's playing like he's one of the best players in the league, and it's a big reason why we're such a good team right now.
He's talking about Robert Thomas, who is playing like one of the best players in the league. The Blues, though, up and down this roster, just look phenomenal. I mean, let's start defensively. Without Colton Parayko, Justin Falk and Cam Fowler and Philip Broberg and on it goes. I mean, these players are just giving you everything they have, and they look great doing it. They're facing a Colorado Avalanche team that looked befuddled at times. And, of course, Jordan Binnington had a lot to do with the ending and making big saves, but the Blues just find a way to grind that out and get it done. And then Buchnevich, he comes in immediately with an impact with a goal. He almost had the empty netter, too, missed that by about a foot. Binnington with his great game. But how about Robert Thomas? Robert Thomas in this game plays 21 minutes, 20 minutes, 49 seconds. He has 2 assists. He has 3 shots on goal. He's a +1. He was just played great. And let's hear from him. Here's Robert Thomas.
Yeah, it's exciting. That game was really exciting. Tight checking game, not many chances both ways, and felt like a playoff game. So it was really exciting. I mean, those guys, obviously everyone saw that, but throughout the game there were so many guys doing the same thing and sacrificing, and at the end of the day, that's what gave us a good chance to win.
Is that what you expected coming in here today?
Yeah, I mean, they're one of the best teams in the last 10 games, even 12 games. So, we knew it was going to be a really hard game, and we needed our best stuff, and I thought we played really well.
On the Bolduc goal, I mean, obviously you have the puck, you're scanning your options. What are you kind of seeing on that play that led you to him?
Yeah, Bucci sets it up nice. I'm just reading that guy on the far side. If he goes low to Bucci, it's to Boldy, or vice versa. So it's a great shot by him. It was a hard pass. He had to get it while I was landing and put it in a great spot.
Are you kind of waiting for him, though? It looked like he was backing up a little bit just to give you enough where you can just lay it in front of him there for the one-timer, I guess. Or
yeah, that's the read is if you have 2 guys over on that side, there's only 1 guy and he can only cover one of them. So just looking at him.
Monty was saying that it's something special right now, what you guys have going on. Like, how would you describe what it is?
Yeah, I mean, we've played some really good teams. We've played teams multiple times in a row. Playing a team 3 times in 8-9 days is really hard, especially to grab 3 wins like that. So we've had a lot of good challenges here, and I think I said it last time was our third period. That's where you win and lose hockey games, and that's our best period, and it's really exciting.
How do you wrap your head around playing 10 games in 17 days, not just mentally, but physically, and getting through it 9-1?
Yeah, I think it's, when you get a little bit of mojo and a little bit of flow going, everyone's been stepping up huge. Any given night, someone's stepping up and making a big difference, not always offensively, but whether it's checking or defensively. And when you have everyone going on the same page and pulling the rope together, we're a dangerous team.
I would wholeheartedly agree. The Blues, Robert Thomas right there with a 2-1 win over the Avalanche. And the standings right now have the Blues in the first wild card in the Western Conference, not the second, in the first. The first 2 teams in the Western Conference, Minnesota and St. Louis, both wild card teams, right now have 87 points apiece. Vancouver, a distant 81. They are 6 points back now. Calgary, 7 points back. as the Blues sit here with 75 games played. Vancouver has 2 in hand, and Calgary has 3 in hand. So those are just monster numbers right now with that kind of distance. That has to feel good right now. The Blues trying to keep the pedal down as they win it 2-1 over Colorado. And not just that, but they're chasing down the top teams in the West. I mean, Minnesota and St. Louis at 87 apiece. LA and Edmonton have 89. Even Colorado, the 4th best team in the entire Western Conference, has 93, 6 better than the Blues. So it's a very interesting situation they've put themselves in, and they look like a playoff killer right now. And maybe the biggest reason why all of this, because as well as they play, it is just Stanley Cup feel when you see number 50 playing like he is between the pipes, Jordan Bennington.
It was an intense game. I feel like every time you come to this building, it's that level of intensity. And, right from the beginning, we know they come hard, and we weathered the storm early, got the lead. It was a very fun hockey game. I think it was an entertaining hockey game. And, we're glad we got the 2 points.
Those last couple of minutes when you see the guys out there diving to block shots, diving to try to get the puck out of the zone, like how are you kind of looking at their effort in that moment?
Yeah, it's just a free for all out there. Guys laying out everywhere, extended shifts. It's kind of just chaos and just trust your hockey sense and make reads with whatever energy you got. And we found a way to get it done against obviously a talented group there, and just a hard fought character finish.
And I know a lot of teams like to go side to side laterally in those 6-on-5 situations, but do you notice that more with them? Like, are you expecting that a lot more with those guys?
Yeah, I mean, they can put it anywhere, right? They can hit the middle, they can go seam, back to the point. And yeah, it's just you're just playing hockey at that point. You're not even thinking really. And yeah.
Jordan, Monty was just talking about he feels like something special is going on here, and he's glad to be a part of it. What do you feel like's going on here with this group?
I think it's just a lot of little moments that lead to big moments, and we're finding a way to get it done. And it's everyone, top to bottom. Everyone's having a contribution, and I think we just got to keep focusing one game at a time and focusing on these little moments, and we'll see what happens in the end.
Put into perspective, I mean, this is your 10th game in 17 days, and how difficult that is. And you win 9 in a row. You go 9-1 in that stretch, and just how difficult this stretch has been.
It's what we're dealt, right? This is our schedule, and we got to find a way to get it done, and it's our job. So I'll tell you, it's been fun hockey and fun coming together and time on the road, and just practicing and building each game and coming back in games and holding leads. It's this is the time of year where you want to be playing this kind of hockey, and we're doing a good job of it.
Any little moments jump out to you today?
Yeah, Joe Boo's second intermission speech got us going, I think.
He tends to give inspirational speeches.
Yeah, he brought a vocal element to the room for sure.
What did he say?
That's you got to understand his language if you want to know what he says.
Talking about Joe Boo. Oh man, they're having a good time. I mean, why wouldn't you have a good time when you won 9 in a row? What a time this is to be a Blues fan. Incredible run, really. I mean, if you think about everything that had happened before all of that, and as Doug Armstrong told us on the Gas House game this past week, it was like a mini camp that they did, a mini training camp after the Four Nations face-off. And he got the group back together, and Jim Montgomery basically told them, this is how we're going to play. You're either on board or you're not. Well, they're on board, all right. They have gone on an absolute tear since the Four Nations face-off. They are far and away the best team in the NHL. The Blues in a playoff spot and firmly in one at the moment. When we come back, a team that made it to the playoffs last year in St. Louis and was not able to advance to the UFL championship game. The St. Louis Battlehawks will be opening their season on Sunday against San Antonio. A huge win over Houston to start it off. We're going to talk to Jarveon Howard, their running back, coming up on Sports on a Sunday Morning on KMOX, the Stiefel Sports Studio.
St. Louis, your drive home just got a whole lot better. Introducing Redbird Rush Hour, weeknights at 5. Get the latest local news, up-to-the-minute traffic, and exclusive St. Louis Cardinals insights, all in one power-packed hour. Whether you're stuck in traffic or cruising home, stay informed and stay connected to your city and your team. The Redbird Rush Hour, weeknights at 5 on the voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
In the 70s, while still putting up Hall of Fame numbers, local baseball legend Jerry Kelly decided to do something different.
Thanks for calling Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
And our area's never been the same. This year, the company Jerry started decided we'd do something different.
Thanks for calling Jerry Kelly Heating, Air, and Electrical.
So from now on, when you need an electrical solution or fix at your home, get it done fast, good, by a Hall of Fame company that's got it going on.
JerryKelly.com. I love the way he articulates things together, examples with all his stage members up there at all different levels, which is wonderful to see and inspiring.
That's Orlando on his Expo experience. It's coming again. Join Del Walmsley and Lifestyles Unlimited for Expo 2025, May 7th through the 10th in Irving, Texas. Get hands-on training from successful real estate investors and learn proven strategies that work. Find out more and save $100 when you text Expo to 88007, EXPO to 88007.
KMOX Weekend at your service, sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation.
I'm Tom Ackerman, and welcome to this month's Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight. This month we are talking about colon cancer, and joining us is Dr. Will Chapman Jr., Siteman Cancer Center.
The best treatment for colon cancer is to prevent it from ever starting in the first place. And we feel that colonoscopy is the best way that you can prevent colon cancers.
Thanks to Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, visit siteman.wustl.edu.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, millions of men experience ED, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. At HIMSS, our own board-certified urologist, Dr. Peter Stahl, knows this better than anyone, and he knows that HIMSS can help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS.
Through HIMSS.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs. Options at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% less than brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting rules for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Consult a doctor prior to use.
Wow, you look amazing. What have you been doing?
I'm sure you've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications, right? Well, I found this great company called Zelfie. If you qualify, their providers can prescribe medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1 medications that are 80 to 90% less expensive, all 100% online.
I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No doctor's office or pharmacy?
Yes, Zelfie can provide semaglutide or tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, but for 80 to 90% less and shipped directly to your door.
How do I get started with Zelfie?
Just send them a text.
Text MIND to 200-300 to get started today with Zelfie. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic, but for 80 to 90% less and 100% online. Don't wait. Text MIND to 200-300 right now for a link to your exclusive offer. Text MIND to 200-300. That's MIND to 200-300. MIND to 200-300.
Now, back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning on 104.1 KMOX. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
Welcome back to the show. It is great to have you all along. Thank you for joining us. And for those of you who are watching on YouTube or wherever you like to stream, we have a video feed as well. Some people like to listen to it and watch it that way. We have lots coming up. Cardinals, Blues, we'll talk City. We have John Mozeliak, Bernie Miklas. We have Lutz Pfannenstiel, all in the 11 o'clock hour, and much more to come. And, you know, there's a fourth pro team that is getting jump-started around here, and that would be the St. Louis Battlehawks. They were back for another UFL season, and they have had some season already. They went to Houston, and they crushed Houston 31-6 in their first game of the season. Now they're back for a Sunday 5:30 kickoff against San Antonio at the Dome. Looking forward to that, and looking forward to seeing this guy run the football. Jarveon Howard joins us, who not only set a single game rushing record, I should say, for the Battlehawks in week 1, but he ripped off a 74-yard run, which at the time was the longest in UFL history. It was actually eclipsed crazily yesterday. Jarveon, how are you? Good to have you on KMOX.
I'm good. How you doing?
Doing great. Well, what a great first game for you. What did you think about this Battlehawk team? What was the big key? Let's talk team first of all. What was the big key to come out overwhelmingly like you did?
It really wasn't a surprise on like low key how the outcome happened. The standard was high from day one when I came in. I'm a new player for the Battlehawks, but it was the standard was high. Coach Beck put us in a situation where we was well prepared, and it wasn't a surprise at this point because all camp we've been getting these results. And the way we play on the field, especially offense, the defense do a great job of giving us that look to help us prepare for these type of moments.
And you definitely had a game to remember. Tell me about the 74-yard run, which I watched. It looked like you broke a few tackles along the way.
Yeah, I know. It was a great run. But if you go back and look at that run, if you pay attention to what's going on up front, our offensive line did an outstanding job of making sure that play was executed. It was, I'm the one running the ball, but the credit goes to my O-line and my receivers. If you look in the back end of the video, the receivers doing a great job blocking downfield, doing their job. And it was the whole operation what made that play work. I'm just the one fortunate with the ball in my hand doing what I do.
You're right. I mean, every play is a separate operation. Every play, everybody's got to be able to hit exactly where they're supposed to hit, block where they're supposed to block, create space. But you also have to execute from a running back standpoint and reward everybody for that hard work. And you certainly did that.
Yes, sir.
That's pretty special. Where do you get it from, Jarveon? I look back at your time at Syracuse. You grew up in Mississippi. You went to Syracuse. And I first want to talk about that experience, going from Syracuse to Alcorn State, how you were feeling at the time about your college experience and what you still had left to accomplish.
Syracuse was a good opportunity for me to, get my feet wet in the college football, from the college football standpoint. Syracuse is great to me. I was a great school. I was able to get my degree from Syracuse, and some exposure to Syracuse. But my last 2 years, I ended up transferring over to Alcorn to pursue my master's. And that's what they kept it short with me and told me straight, listen, we're looking for this, we're looking for a running back. And I said, throw me the papers, man. It's time to go. And it was, they've been nothing but good. Both schools that I've been to been nothing but good for me. I know people think about like me coming from Mississippi, going to Syracuse, it could be a culture shock, different for me. But I was going there with a mission. I was trying to get to this point right here and plus more. And when you looking at it from that standpoint, I don't care where you land. The goal gonna be the same regardless of what outcome and environment you in. So they've been good to me. The coaching staff, both coaching staffs were great to me. I have great coaches. Right now, I'm back with one of the guys who recruited me in college, Dave Bowler, which is the GM of the Battlehawks. Great guy, man. Never, took me on his wing early when I had came into Syracuse and just treat me. He's family, man. It's always been family between. I can go to him for anything. Bad day, good day, I know I can go to Dave. So that's what it's been from day one.
That's pretty great. Jarveon Howard is with us on KMOX, running back for the Battlehawks. When you were at Alcorn State, do they still ask you about your 299-yard game, 4 touchdowns against Arkansas Pine Bluff? I watched that video yesterday. That was pretty amazing.
You talking about when I was at Alcorn?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean
299 and 4 touchdowns he had against Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Yeah, I feel like in the course of like they asked me about it, but it became low key so like normal to them. Alcorn breed a lot of good running backs.
Yeah.
Didn't get the opportunity to what I did, you know. But when I came in, I had said a statement with that specific game, and it blew me up ever since. But they have a lot of great running backs, and they still got a lot of great running backs there now. But it was shocking to them to see that type of performance. It wasn't shocking for me. Yeah, that was the most I've ever put up in the game. But the way I prepared that week, I wasn't surprised at the numbers that I put up. I was just blessed to be in that situation in that moment, man. It felt great after the game. I was low key kind of shocked, like 3-4 days after the type of recognition that was actually put on Alcorn based on me running the ball. And that's all I'm trying to do is like let people know, man. It no matter where you come from or you know how I finish. I mean, the type of work you put in, it's gonna always show, man. If you put in the work, it's gonna show, and that's what we're doing here with the Battlehawks.
That's always the good advice for everybody. If you're ever looking, of course, we want to see how far we can go in advance and you know, what's the next for you professionally. But if you do a great job in the job that you're in right now, right this moment, they will find you. And there was a moment there where you did spend an off season with the Green Bay Packers. What was that experience like? And what are your aspirations here moving forward? And then I'm going to ask you a question about St. Louis, but tell me about the Packers situation.
The Packers, man, the Packers was family, man. If you go to the Packers coming out of college, going straight to the pros, going to the Packers, they are going to put you in the best situation to grow. Every day was a day of growth for me with the Packers. Coach Ben Sherman, man, he is a great coach all around. I was well prepared. I ended up getting released with them, but when I got released, I knew the amount of information that I've taken in from college through the preseason. I was well prepared for any NFL team that I was going to from now on. Based on the information that the Packers have taught me, it's a standard around that G, man. It's the difference. It's a standard around the G. So they put me in the best situation to grow. I knew for sure from now on, if I only took what the Packers gave me and went to any other organization, I would grow. I would succeed in that specific organization because the Packers, they did me so that it was a good situation, man. Anybody who go into that locker room, just know when they're standing around that G is nothing but love.
That is a really cool perspective on how you had some time there with the Green Bay Packers. Jarveon Howard with us. You learned so much, and you know it also validated you because they wanted you. They wanted to take a look at you. Here you are in St. Louis. This is the last thing for you. What have you heard about the atmosphere at the Dome for Battlehawks games as they've been setting attendance records, Jarveon?
Man, I've been hearing 35,000 in the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of crazy for it being like a new, being so new, the UFL being so new, and the team low key being as new as it is. That just lets you know how good of a fan base we have, man, and how they're gonna be there for you. So, just the ride that we took down here to Houston, I'm not a crowd. It don't matter what type of crowd we have, but hearing the type of crowd that we're possibly going to have coming out this week, man, that's a big deal, man, especially for us. That's what you want it for, man. It shows that the city is behind you 100%, regardless. And I'm looking for more to pack it out, man. I want to be able to. I want to put it in a situation where we have to change venues to pack the stadium all the way out. So that's what we're working for. And Coach Beck trying to pack the stadium out, man. He's trying to place the best people in these seats in this facility to get to the point where we, it don't matter who we playing. We want to be able to pack the 314 out, man.
Well, it's going to be a party. I'll tell you that. They love their football. They love sports. They love their town. And that should be fun. That is a week from today, Sunday, April 6th, 5:30 is the kickoff for San Antonio coming to the Dome to take on the St. Louis Battlehawks. And now we got to talk to Jarveon Howard, and you get to know him a little bit better, the running back who set a single-game rushing record with 115 on Friday and a run for 74 yards. Thank you so much for the visit. Appreciate you, and we'll see you soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Great to have you on KMOX 104.1 FM. Jarveon Howard, running back for the St. Louis Battlehawks. All right, time to shift our attention back to hockey. The Frozen Four is coming here in 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks. We're going to get into that discussion and more with the president of the St. Louis Sports Commission, Marc Schreiber. We'll also talk NCAA Tournament, soccer, baseball. It's all coming. Sports on a Sunday morning on KMOX.
When you've been hurt in an accident, you need a law firm that wins. Onder wins. For over 100 years, Onder Law has been winning for St. Louis. With over $5 billion in negotiated settlements and over $300 million in verdicts, Onder wins. Voted best law firm by STL Today 2 years in a row, Onder wins. Whether it's settlements, verdicts, or awards, Onder wins. If you've been hurt in a car accident, trucking accident, or hurt on the job, Onder Law will get you the money you deserve. At Onder Law, winning is what we do. So when the stakes are high, Onder wins. Call us today for a free consultation. We don't get paid unless we win for you. Dial 314 or 6189-million. That's 314 or 6189, then all zeros. Or visit us online at onderwins.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Make reservations for the 2025 Women of Achievement Luncheon, presented by KMOX. This award luncheon takes place Tuesday, May 13th at the Ritz-Carlton, St. Louis, and celebrates 10 outstanding volunteers from across the St. Louis metropolitan region. Doors open at 11:15. The luncheon runs until 1:30. Reservations are $60 per person. Sign up and find more details now at KMOX.com/events.
Schedule your free tree inspection from Gamma Tree Experts now. I'm Tim Gamma. Our certified arborist and horticulturist are ready to meet you in preparation of the coming season. Winter is always hard on a lot of trees here in St. Louis. If you have a tree that you're really concerned about, let us come take a look at it for free. I'm Tim Gamma. Give me a call at 725-6159. That's 314-725-6159. Your trees deserve the best care from Gamma Tree Experts.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. I see clearly now thanks to the doctors, Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. You can too. YourIDoc.com.
Hey, it's Matt Pauley telling you about i3 Broadband. Are you thinking about upgrading your internet in your home? Probably a pretty good decision to do so if maybe you're with the cable company or you're with some of those big companies. i3 Broadband, it's amazing. They provide the home internet at my home super fast. They always mirror their upload and download speeds, which is a really big deal. You won't realize how much faster your internet can be. Plus, it's reliable. The customer service is great. See if they're available in your neighborhood. Put your address in at i3broadband.com.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan with McKelvey Homes. Dreaming of a brand new home, but don't want to wait? You are in luck. McKelvey Homes has dozens of brand new move-in ready homes with tremendous savings up to $70,748. In addition, you will also receive a closing credit of up to $10,000. We have a wide variety of luxury custom homes at prime locations, all with McKelvey's legendary quality and personal service. Visit McKelveyhomes.com and move up to McKelvey.
Now, back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning on 104.1 KMOX. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
Always great to be with you. 10:49 on KMOX, and joining us is St. Louis Sports Commission President Marc Schreiber, who loves this time of year more than anybody because St. Louis sports are the talk of the town. What's going on, Marc?
Hi, Tom. Well, it's been a heck of a weekend for St. Louis sports, I would say.
Yeah. Just the St. Louis Cardinals starting up and winning 2 games. The Blues looking like the 2019 Blues. The Battlehawks, I just had that conversation with Jarveon Howard. You kind of forget, like, their season just started, and they drilled somebody, and they're going to be hosting on Sunday. And, of course, Energizer Park, which it's one of those downtown days, Marc, where your office is pretty close to both. Busch Stadium and Energizer Park will be going.
Oh yeah, it's and I actually get to head down to the City game today, which I'm really looking forward to. But it's just wonderful to have that kind of activity, and I think it all gives us a little bit of a boost on a Sunday morning when you see the Blues playing so well. The Cardinals start off great, and it's like you rattled off. It's just wonderful for St. Louis.
It really is. Before we talk about the Frozen Four and what might be happening around that event, what's the latest with the World Championships in figure skating? U.S. figure skating, I know you're going to be hosting those championships in 26.
Yeah, so that event's coming up January. We're going fast and furious to get ready for that, and so fortunate to have been awarded that event in an Olympic year. And we talk about a great sports weekend for St. Louis. For U.S. figure skating, this was over the top, and it's so exciting for us because the U.S. won 3 of the 4 world championships at Worlds in Boston. Wow. They have their male skater is basically the Tiger Woods of skating, or the Michael Jordan of skating. It's however you want to define it. But Ilya Malinen's like revolutionized the sport. And then Alyssa Liu, who won the women's skate, came out of nowhere, out of retirement. It's the most incredible comeback story. And I'm just thrilled for us that we've got those two plus Chalk and Bates, the ice dance team. They won the world championship too. Like, you're not going to want to miss this event when it comes to St. Louis. And it's always nice when you have a fabulous event, but when you have something to really sell, it's even better. So just kind of, again, wake up this morning pumped up about what happened in Boston and what that means for us in St. Louis.
Wow, what a haul that is for the U.S. at the World Championships. And as you mentioned, for St. Louis, which has become the home of great hockey events and ice skating events. Look at this. I mean, the Frozen Four is here. I mean, it's going to be here in days, Marc Schreiber. What an exciting time for St. Louis.
Yeah, and just anytime we host a high-profile, high-impact NCAA championship, another feather in our cap, and this is a great one. We haven't had it since 2007, and unlike the Final Four, where you have the teams just announced a week before, we're starting to get the teams in now. The regionals happen 2 weeks before the national championship weekend. So we're starting to get a sense of who's coming to St. Louis.
Yeah. So you've got, let's see, Boston University is in contention. Western Michigan knocked out UMass. BU beat Cornell. You still have, who else do I have in there? UConn and Penn State, BC and Denver. Do I have that right?
Exactly. Yeah. So Penn State, UConn play this afternoon, and tonight it's Boston College. Denver's the defending national champion. They actually beat Boston College in the finals last year. So both of those have two really strong fan bases. So you can't lose either way with those. And it'll be interesting with Penn State and UConn. All the Big Ten teams got knocked out so far. And we, hate to pull for one team, but I was really hoping Minnesota would be here with Jimmy Snuggerud, but they lost in overtime, and we'll be fine either way.
So he goes and signs with the Blues. He's like, I'll just go sign with the Blues now.
and a fascinating thing that will be to watch is if he's a finalist for the Hobie Baker Award, which will be awarded. That's the Heisman Trophy of hockey, which will be awarded the Friday of Frozen Four weekend. That's April 11th. It'll be interesting to see if he is here or on the road with the Blues at the time.
Yeah, no kidding. That's great. BC and Denver, man, what a titanic matchup that is tonight. You can watch that one, by the way, on ESPN2 tonight if you want to see BC Denver. That is awesome. In fact, both of them, UConn, Penn State's the first one, then BC Denver. And the St. Louis Blues continue to have these great events. And I think one of the thing about them, I will say about the Blues, maybe something that doesn't get noticed as much, but I'll say it, they sure move out of the way for, they're very accommodating, let's say, for a lot of events. They are able to balance their schedule, whether it's Arch Madness, Frozen Four, you name it.
they are as good of partners as we could ask for. And you can't give them enough credit for what they do to help bring these special events to town. And, you rattle off Frozen Four, NCAA wrestling, U.S. figure skating championships. It requires the team to be on the road for a good chunk of time, but they recognize the boost this has for our community. And not only are they great about sort of letting us have the venue, but especially on the Frozen Four, the level of involvement that they have is just outstanding. And they're wanting this to come off as good for St. Louis as the Sports Commission and all those involved in the event want this weekend to be for our community.
I'm told the lower bowl, about 8,500 plus in attendance for women's hockey at Enterprise Center yesterday. You got wrestling coming in soon, and I know you've been checking all that out. This is just a special time to be a St. Louis, and knowing that there are resources available and people are starting to think more about reinvesting in downtown. That's how I feel anyway. I'm feeling a little bit more of a vibe than I did.
I agree with you on that. I think there's a recognition of what we need to do, and there's a concerted effort to step things up. And we're just going to try to keep doing our part by bringing vibrancy and activity to downtown and to the entire region. And we've got a stretch coming up where we've got that going on. So it's very exciting for the region as a whole.
Thanks for all you do. We'll see you soon at the Frozen Four and at the various events coming. Marc Schreiber, president of the St. Louis Sports Commission. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, Tom. Always good to be with you.
We will be back. Much more coming. Sports on a Sunday morning from the Stiefel Sports Studio.
When you haven't found love, it can feel like everyone else has. It's in every movie, every song, and all the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to find the one. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Will new tariffs impact small businesses? Rising costs and economic uncertainty can hurt your bottom line. But with Swish Funding, your business can stay strong. We offer fast, flexible funding solutions from $10,000 to $2 million for working capital, cash flow, and more, and as little as 24 hours with no collateral needed. If your business earns at least $50,000 per month and has been around for over a year, you could qualify today. Go to swishradio.com and use code RADIO. SwishRadio.com, code RADIO.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum-sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Are you a small business owner who needs immediate cash flow? At Swish Funding, we have flexible funding options from $25,000 to $2 million. For the best rates and terms for your business, just one application to Swish Funding gives you access to our entire network of funders, with cash in your account in as little as 24 hours. To qualify, you must be in business for at least 1 year with monthly revenue of $50,000. Apply at swishradio.com and use code RADIO. swishradio.com, code RADIO.
For more than 75 years, University of Maryland Global Campus has given you the opportunity to build your next success. Choose from more than 135 degree and certificate programs in career-relevant fields like business, healthcare, data analytics, cybersecurity, and more. Plus, we offer 100% online and hybrid courses, personalized advising, and lifetime career services. Learn more at umgc.edu, certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Christopher Cruz. The king of the TV miniseries has died.
Richard Chamberlain was TV's Dr. Kildare from 1961 to 66.
I know the hospital has to raise money, but do you have to do it with all this sob stuff and make-believe?
In the 80s, he enjoyed a resurgence appearing in the Shogun miniseries and then playing a conflicted priest in The Thornbirds.
You're wrong, Mary. I know how to be a man. But to be a man on your terms is to be no priest, and I have chosen to be a priest.
Chamberlain appeared in movies and on stage, and he even had a couple of hit records along the way. His publicist says Richard Chamberlain died from complications after a stroke. He would have been 91 tomorrow. Peter King, CBS News.
There's bad news for President Trump in the latest CBS News polling. Here's CBS News Director of Elections and Surveys, Anthony Salvanto.
We find that the president's approval for specifically handling the economy and inflation are both ticked down.
President Trump's 25% tariffs on foreign-made cars are scheduled to go into effect this coming week. When will they start affecting prices?
We've already seen some buyers pushing ahead car purchases, concerned about rising prices. Cox Automotive chief economist Jonathan Smoke says we shouldn't see prices go up right away, but they could creep up quite a bit in the coming months.
Affordability has been holding back market potential for years. And between rates and tariffs, affordability looks to get much worse.
Smoke says that could also reduce car sales going forward. Jeff Gilbert, CBS News, Detroit.
President Trump says he won't remove anyone over that embarrassing accidental leak of his administration's plans for an airstrike against the Houthis in Yemen. He told NBC News, "I don't fire people because of fake news and because of witch hunts." In Myanmar, people are digging through rubble to try to find survivors after Friday's 7.7 magnitude quake. This man is among the searchers. He's heard through a BBC interpreter.
We lifted the rubble ourselves and took the people out. We're still finding out if there are any more dead bodies. Since this is a restaurant and it was lunchtime, there were many people there.
A 5.1 magnitude earthquake hit today. UN officials are warning that Gaza's bakeries will soon run out of flour for bread. Reporter Linda Gradstein has more on that from Jerusalem.
The UN said that agencies have cut food distributions to families in half, and markets have run out of most vegetables. The shortages come 4 weeks after Israel shut off all sources of food, fuel, and medicine after a 2-month-long ceasefire broke down. Israel says it is trying to pressure Hamas to free the remaining hostages, both dead and alive.
Top story of the hour, actor Richard Chamberlain has died. He was 90. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
At 11:03, we have partly cloudy skies, some light rain downtown at the Arch, 73 degrees. Good morning, I'm Scott Jagow. Our top story this hour, President Trump moving forward with slapping a 25% tariff on all foreign-built cars sold in the U.S. Missouri Senator Josh Hawley supports the tariffs, saying they will benefit America's auto industry.
We need a fair deal on trade. That is the end of the story. We need a fair deal, and this is a step towards getting us that fair deal. We need it for our consumers. We need it most of all for our workers.
Others believe the tariffs will lead to much higher vehicle prices and reduced choice for consumers. The tariffs do start April 3rd. The city is acquiring the parking garage and surface lot across from the Railway Exchange building. The city agreed to the $2.6 million price set by the eminent domain commissioners. St. Louis Development Corporation CEO Neil Richardson says there are two parts of the garage they will not be demolishing.
Charlie Gito's restaurant, as well as the Gills building, that's a historic structure that's attached to the garage. So we will have to be very thoughtful around the demolition process.
The city is not acquiring the Railway Exchange building itself yet, as they continue to appeal the price set by the commissioners for that. She was injured on what her attorney calls a dangerous stretch of road in Baldwin. Now a lawsuit could be coming.
Attorney Ben Tobin represents a woman who he says was injured when a vehicle struck her while crossing Manchester near Old Baldwin Road. The roadway features a crosswalk. However, when pedestrians push the button to cross, it only lights up blinking yellow to notify drivers of someone crossing and doesn't actually do anything to stop those drivers. Tobin says this has long been a dangerous spot to the public.
We're aware of a 12-year-old boy as well as a 17-year-old boy that lost their life at this crosswalk.
Tobin says they are still waiting for a police report before potentially filing litigation. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
Your weather forecast for this afternoon. We are expecting some showers, maybe a heavy thunderstorm, probably south of the city mainly. The storms could bring flooding, downpours, hail, and damaging wind gusts. Main area of time frame 1 to 3 p.m. this afternoon. 72 for a high, 40 overnight. Very chilly. Tomorrow, 56, 61 on Tuesday. Maybe some storms Wednesday with a high of 74. Right now, we have 73 degrees downtown. I'm Scott Jagow, KMOX News.
From KMOX Sports, this is the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning. Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs. Now from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
I didn't love that forecast. 1 to 3 p.m. Okay, well, we'll just, we'll bear down and see if this thing will go by us to the south or not, but that is going to be the case today. 2 games going on downtown. The Cardinals at 1:15 and City at 1:15. The Cardinals on their 134th season journey right now. 134 seasons for the St. Louis Cardinals. How many times do you think they started 3-0 out of 134? 16 times. This would be the 17th time that they do it. The last time they did it was the 2006 Cardinals, started with a season opening sweep of the Phillies at Citizens Bank Park. That turned out pretty good. Cardinals won the World Series in 2006. The last team to go 3-0 at home was the 2003 Cardinals. That season did not end the way the Cardinals wanted it to end. The franchise record for the longest season opening streak is 7. The 1962 Cardinals did that. They went 7-0 to start the year. The Cardinals going for the sweep today of the Minnesota Twins. Also happening today, City at 1:15. The Blues, who won last night 2-1 over the Avalanche, have the day off. They will do some scoreboard watching as they're tied for the top wildcard spot in the Western Conference. And college basketball. It was a very exciting day yesterday. As it turned out, one of the games was a blowout. The other game was very exciting. That Texas Tech-Florida game was pretty wild. Texas Tech had the lead in this game, and Florida found a way to turn on the Jets. They go on a 16-2 run to overtake this, I think, really good Texas Tech team that Grant McCaslin should have right back at it. But, man, that was an impressive performance by Florida. And that Walter Clayton Jr., I'm not sure I want anyone in the country with the ball in his hands more than him. He rescued them. He hit 2 late threes. He looked so confident. That Florida team is even better than I thought. And they showed me something last night, beating Texas Tech 84-79. That said, Duke looks unbeatable. Duke is playing their signature great lockdown defense, but their offense is firing on all cylinders. And that was after Cooper Flagg was only 6 of 16 from the floor. They still dropped 85 points on Alabama and beat them 85-65 last night. Duke is just too talented. They have NBA-ready players at every position, it feels like. Their defense just smothers you. They can do, if Flagg doesn't have it going, other guys can step up and score. That was the lottery picks. They're well coached. They're healthy. I mean, it's an impressive machine that John Shire has built in Durham. Now, they still have to finish the deal, and they're going to see who ends up in this bracket. So Duke is going to wait the winner of today's Houston-Tennessee game. Both of those teams play the heck out of some defense. That should be a low-scoring game today. If it's Houston in the Final Four, this could be Kelvin Sampson's year. We'll see. I think that would be a tough matchup for Duke. Tennessee, I think, gets beat by Duke, just my gut, based on what I've seen overall. But Houston has the ability to lock you down enough that they're in every game. I'll be very curious to see who ends up winning that today. And the Michigan State-Auburn game's a fun one. Tom Izzo against Bruce Pearl, both fiery guys. They'll be revved up today, having their teams ready to go. Both of them super talented, can get up and down the floor. I think that could be a fun game today between Auburn and Michigan State, with that Houston-Tennessee game probably a little more of a lockdown defensive battle. And then you have Florida and Duke in the Final Four. On the women's side, Paige Beckers scored a career-high 40 points, and UConn was rescued from its first-half doldrums and single-handedly turned a tight game against Oklahoma into an 82-59 rout at Paige Beckers with 40 points, putting out a stunning performance, 29 points after halftime for the Huskies. They were down 4 at the break, and they win it 82-59. She'll likely be the number 1 overall pick in the WNBA draft, as UConn will take on USC. USC held off Kansas State 67-61 in the Sweet 16. So it'll either be UConn or USC, who doesn't have Juju Watkins. Kennedy Smith stepped up in her absence, but USC will be up against UConn in the Elite Eight. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk some soccer with Lutz Pfannenstiel, St. Louis City SC. He joins us every Sunday at 11:15. We will join John Mozeliak. We're going to move him up just a touch at 11:25, and then we're going to have a little extra time with Bernie Miklasz at 11:40, just shifting things 5 minutes here and there. Also, an announcement in case you missed it, Ollie Marmol will be joining the Gas House Gang on a weekly basis. The Cardinals manager will be with us every Tuesday at 12:05 with Chris Ranji, Bernie Miklasz, and me. We'll talk to Bernie about that further in a half hour at 11:40. That'll be every Tuesday at 12:05 to 12:30 with the manager, Oliver Marmol. Back in a moment, sports on a Sunday morning from the Stiefel Sports Studio.
104.1 FM, KMOX, News, Talk, Sports.
Chesterfield Fence and Deck, the sign you have the very best since 1968. When companies have been around for that long, they've been around for that long for a reason. And that's because people like them. It's that simple. Chesterfield Fence and Deck is the sign you have the very best. When someone asks you, do you know someone who can put in a fence? Do you know someone who can put in a new deck? That answer should be Chesterfield Fence and Deck. They've been doing it for that long. They're that highly regarded. And just because they have Chesterfield in their name doesn't mean they don't cover the entire St. Louis area. It's not just Chesterfield, but that's where they're located, and their showroom is very well done. It's worth dropping by there and kind of walking through that little neighborhood they've created with all the fences, decks, patios, pergolas, sunrooms, you name it, they have it. Visit that showroom or just schedule a consultation by going online at chesterfieldfence.com. Mention me, Tom Ackerman. You'll receive 48 months interest-free financing on your next outdoor project from Chesterfield Fence and Deck.
When you get hurt, you don't want to end up on the injured list. You want to get back in the game stronger than ever. At Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, we fight for you, making sure big insurance doesn't throw you a curveball. With over $25 billion recovered, we're the home run hitters you need.
This is way out there and gone.
Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Proud sponsor of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Every success you've had began with a great opportunity. Now there's another one. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we provide no-cost digital resources in place of textbooks and most courses. And that's not all. You'll receive your accredited online education at an affordable tuition with a choice from more than 135 degree and certificate programs. With online and hybrid courses, get everything you need to succeed again. Learn more at umgc.edu, certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
When you haven't found love, it can feel like everyone else has. It's in every movie, every song, and all the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to find the one. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan with McKelvey Homes. Now's the time to move to Cottleville Trails and save big. We have 7 move-in ready market homes with savings of up to $70,748 available, including our brand new Madison 2, McKinley, and Jefferson models. Or save $18,980 on a to-be-built home from our popular Liberty series. In addition, you will also receive a closing credit of up to $7,500. Visit McKelveyHomes.com today and move up to McKelvey.
Hi, I'm Dr. Colleen Bosler, and I'd like to introduce our newest associate, Dr. Adam Voss. Hi, I'm Dr. Adam Voss, the newest addition to the Audiology Center. I'm very excited to join this amazing team. I'm a St. Louis native, graduated from Washington University School of Medicine, and I'm passionate about hearing healthcare and connecting people back to the things that matter to them most: family, friends, music, or even their favorite British TV drama. At the Audiology Center, we care for our patients like our own family. If you ever need anything, come on by or call us and we will make sure to address questions or issues same day. My ultimate goal as your audiologist is to listen to your individual needs and guide you on your journey to improved hearing. There are a lot of audiologists in town, but only one Audiology Center. We might not know how to change a tire, but we know a thing or two about audiology. And I want our current and future patients to know that you can trust us with your hearing healthcare needs.
Thanks, Dr. Voss. The Audiology Center, 3 locations. Come visit us at theaudiologycenterstl.com for more information.
Now, back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning on 104.1 KMOX. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
2 hours from first pitch as the Cardinals will take on the Minnesota Twins here on KMOX. And at that exact time, they will be taking the pitch at Energizer Park as Y98 will have the broadcast of City and Austin FC. And joining us is sporting director for St. Louis City SC, live from Energizer Park. It's Lutz Pfannenstiel. Lutz, thanks as always for keeping the tradition and spending a few minutes with us.
Good morning, Tom. How's it going?
It's going great. I'm going over there today. I'm going to watch the game over at Energizer Park today. I'm looking forward to seeing the guys, and I know you're looking forward to getting back in front of your home crowd.
A little birdie was telling me that you actually might show up today. So, let's catch up.
All right. I'm looking forward to that. I am looking forward to a good start. You know, as you and I talked about, there were some moments there in the first half that you looked good, but that first 10, 15 minutes of the match at Philadelphia, I'm sure you would like to redo. Let's see how it looks today, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it's a completely different ball game today. You know, it's a home game. I think they have to be more scared of us than we should be of them. So I think it's our house, our court. So we want to go out there, set the tone, be aggressive from the first moment onwards. And usually the home team is the one who should be in charge, you know, especially when the game kicks off.
I know that you'll be without Edward Leuven, who received a red card in the previous game. How do you adjust to the loss of Leuven?
Yeah, we have quite a few injuries. You know, it's not just Edu. And, of course, he will be missed. He's a very influential player. But we played without him before, and we won games without him before. So that's something we need to compensate as a team. We have players who need to step up, simple as that. And, it's a shame. But as I said, you know, we have a squad of nearly 30 players. And I think everybody should be really buzzing to come here and really, really perform on that day and really give everything. So it doesn't matter who's out. It's up to us how to get it done. And if you look at last week at Philadelphia, we had so many players out injured and they still beat us. That's not an excuse. We just have to go and play our game, Tom.
I hear that. Lutz Pfannenstiel is with us on KMOX. What about Klaus from that standpoint? How is his health? How is his return to what he wanted to be a couple of years ago with that stunning start? Where is Klaus in terms of his ability and status right now?
Yeah, Klaus is right now in the changing room and gets ready for the game. We know the qualities he has. He proved that he's a proven goal scorer. He showed that not just in the MLS but also in Europe. And we have good players up there with Simon Becker, who is really performing well. Cedric Teuchert, who scores a lot of goals also last season. So the competition is up. The number 9 jersey is somehow up for grab, and everybody needs to prove themselves every weekend, especially during the weekend training. I can't tell you the first 11 yet, Tom, sure. But you'll hear that very soon. And then we will see if Klaus today will perform, scores a goal. I wish him all the best. And, I really hope that he gets a little bit off that drive streak. Once he scores the first one, I think there will be a few goals to follow. So all good here.
And then finally, and I respect that too, of course, I hadn't seen the first 11 being posted yet, so appreciate that. Lutz Pfannenstiel is with us on KMOX. Last thing is Roman Berkey continues to nurse a fractured hand and hope to get him back soon. You have received some knowledge here, one that you already knew Ben Lute was good, but that he's capable of carrying a game if you need him. He's looked really, really good.
Yeah, really, really well done by Ben so far. He came up, he stepped up. He's an experienced guy. He's not a kid. He's not 19 or 20. He played at decent level before. I think we have a very reliable goalkeeper. I think I'm very excited, actually, of our whole goalkeeper department. It's not just Roman. There is a lot of good guys below Roman also in the academy. We have this Alex Langer, a fantastic young, driven goalkeeper coach who just makes every goalkeeper in the club better. And that's the beauty about the team sport. Yes, of course, Roman Bürki faced off the club, the best goalkeeper in the league. You can give him another 10, 15 great names, what he's done for us, but he won't be between the pipes today. So we need to rely simply on Ben, and Ben will do a good job. And Ben proved himself that he's not just a capable, but he's a good MLS goalkeeper.
Trying to find that offense and get themselves a win today against Austin. Joining us is Sporting Director Lutz Pfannenstiel, St. Louis City SC. Always appreciate the time, especially on a game day. Thanks for making time for us. I'll see you over there.
Yeah, Tom, I'll see you over there. And, good luck in the show.
Thank you. Always great to talk to Lutz here on KMOX. It's 11:21. When we come back, we're going to be joined just about 5 minutes early by Cardinals President of Baseball Operations, John Mozeliak. And then Bernie Miklas and I have a lot to discuss. There's no doubt about that. A lot of Cardinal baseball coming between now and then. We're 1 hour from pregame. The Cardinals and the Minnesota Twins. Good luck to City today against Austin. We've had a great conversation about the Battle Hawks, a long conversation with Jarveon Howard. It's all coming up on the Odyssey app and on our KMOX.com Sports on a Sunday Morning podcast. Back after this.
News.
All the headlines that matter to me.
Weather.
If it's going to rain, I want to know.
Traffic.
Well, nobody wants to be late for work.
And who brings you that information every morning?
This is Tom Ackerman.
I'm Megan Lynch. Hi, I'm Debbie Monterey.
I'm Roger Brand.
It's Total Information AM with everything you need to know.
What's going on in the world?
Weather reports are so important to start the day.
Tell me where the traffic is so I can get to work on time.
Total Information AM. Mornings on KMOX.
Find out what's happening.
And always live on the free Odyssey app.
Have you been injured in an accident? You need a personal injury law firm that wins. Onder wins. For over 100 years, we've been fighting and winning for St. Louis. $5 billion in negotiated settlements? We've got it. $300 million in verdicts? Done. Voted best law firm by STL Today 2 years in a row. Onder wins all the time. Car accident, trucking accident, workplace injury. No matter the case, let Onder win for you. When the stakes are high, we're the team you can trust. Wondering what your case is worth? Call now for a free consultation. And remember, we don't get paid unless you win. Dial 314 or 618-9-million. That's 9, then all zeros. Or visit onderwins.com today. Onder Law. Winning is what we do.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
KMOX Weekend at your service, sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation.
Farming's hard. To feed the world, farmers have to work the land, brave the elements, and fight the battle against weeds. Weeds reduce crop yields, so prices go up and everybody gets less to eat. But 50 years ago, farmers got a new tool to fight weeds, glyphosate. It kills weeds while protecting the harvest. Time and again, it has been approved by the EPA and by leading regulatory bodies around the world. It helps enable practices that reduce erosion and keep soil healthy, which is good for the earth. Farming's hard, but it's a little easier with glyphosate. Learn more at go.bayer.com/glyphosate, paid for by Bayer.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Here's how to get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. Our US-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you, and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing.
Will new tariffs impact small businesses? Rising costs and economic uncertainty can hurt your bottom line. But with Swish Funding, your business can stay strong. We offer fast, flexible funding solutions from $10,000 to $2 million for working capital, cash flow, and more, and as little as 24 hours with no collateral needed. If your business earns at least $50,000 per month and has been around for over a year, you could qualify today. Go to swishradio.com and use code RADIO. swishradio.com, code RADIO.
Spring is here. Time for daffodils and road construction. Do your part to avoid a work zone crash. Pay attention, slow down, put the phone down while driving so we can all go home safe. Join the 11th Annual St. Louis Work Zone Awareness 5K, Saturday, April 19th in Chesterfield. Sign up today at kingmox.com/events. That's kingmox.com/events. Brought to you by the Missouri Coalition of Roadway Safety.
Now, back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning on 104.1 KMOX. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
We're getting ready for the Twins and the Cardinals at Busch Stadium. St. Louis 2-0 on the season. Looking at their lineup, the same starting five: Nootbaar, Contreras, Donovan, Arenado, Burleson. But Burley's at first today, Contreras the DH. Nootbaar is in right, and then Nolan Gorman gets a start today at second base with Pedro Pajes behind the plate. Victor Scott II remains in center field, batting eighth, and Mason Wynn ninth and batting shortstop. And joining us live from Busch Stadium is the Cardinals president of baseball operations, John Mozeliak. Mo, thanks as always for doing this. We appreciate it.
Yeah, good morning, Tommy.
Cardinals
a few raindrops right now, so fingers crossed.
Yeah, what's it looking like over there? Do you have a sprinkle going on right now?
I know we're going to play, and our hope is we do it on time. So, but it is a tricky forecast to say the least.
Yeah, I hear you. And City's got their match over at Energizer Park, going through those same procedures. We'll have the game right here, Cardinals and Twins on KMOX. Well, you heard me give the lineup, and Lars Nootbaar shifts to right field today. What a start to the season for him. You look up and down this thing, everybody you could say has contributed in some way, but Newt kind of feels like the engine right now of what the Cardinals are accomplishing.
Yeah, a couple observations there. One is obviously when you're putting runners on, you have a better chance to score. So that's a really good thing. And then, when you talk about just his impact, obviously a huge 2-out hit yesterday. Had a lot of positive 2-out hits early on. Obviously the sample size is very small, but the takeaway over the last couple of days is it feels a little bit like how we were playing the last week in spring training, and putting a lot of balls in play. Even our outs tend to be loud. And so from that standpoint, that's great. And, overall, starting pitching's got us into, deep into a game and turn it over to the bullpen. And those guys are, getting their touches and, right now having success.
The formula is there, and a 2-0 start for the Cardinals taking on the Twins today. And Andre Palante gets the ball. Let's talk about him for a minute in the spring that he had as he tries to carry on what Gray and Fetty did, Mo.
Yeah, I think, obviously whenever you watch Mr. Palante, there's two things that really need to stand out. One is he getting the ball on the ground, and two is he putting himself in pitcher's counts and not hitter counts, where you don't want to find yourself getting to that ball four.
And the Cardinals will be pushing ahead against this Twins team today, going for a sweep, trying to start the season with a 3-0 record, and Nolan Gorman will get a chance. And you told us from the get-go with this 26-man roster, you were going to find ways to get Nolan Gorman his at-bats. He makes his first appearance. I guess that's kind of how it's going to be here for a little while, just trying to find ways to get he and others at-bats.
Yeah, I think like the simple way I would summarize that is we have a strategy to try to spread out at-bats, but we also recognize that we got to figure out, if someone's swinging it, keep them available, keep them hot, and try to go with that hot hand and, see how our lineup shakes out. But, the one thing I think it's obvious, we have a lot of flexibility with our lineup. The fact that we have players that can play multiple positions, I think that's a good thing. And, our hope is that Gorman does get that opportunity to, play 4 or 5 times a week if possible. But, time will tell. Talk's cheap in these kind of things. And, ultimately our goal is to win games. And I think Ollie and his crew are just trying to find what that right balance looks like.
Yeah. What do you think so far of the manager and his staff and how they've navigated this thing so far? I'm sure it doesn't sound like you'd have too many complaints thus far.
I don't think so. I can't imagine anybody, but it's a tough world out there. So probably someone has something, but no, I think he and his crew are doing a really good job. And, obviously it's a carryover from our camp and here we are in regular season. And so, things change a little bit, but sort of interesting how we start the season with really 3-day games, and tomorrow night we'll turn on the lights.
And wasn't it something to see Nolan Arenado in his first game back at the reception he did, the curtain call, the home run, the cupping his hand to his ear. He seemed to be eating that up in what was a different kind of offseason for everybody.
Yeah, that's one way of summing it up the season. It was definitely different. But no, that was great to see. And look, we are a team. We are who we are right now. And if we can get contribution 1 through 9, I've said all along, if we put up runs, we'll be a pretty fun team to watch.
What was your opening day experience like? Now, I know you joked about, there are 2 parts of that introduction, because you joked about how you were going to get booed. You had been booed before. You kind of had some playful back and forth with reporters, but also they put together some video for you. So I know that, there are a lot of probably things swirling around right now, but was that emotional for you to be back one more time for an opening day?
Yeah, a couple things. I'll do the personal side first. I mean, definitely to be recognized and honored is something nice, but, people, ask me a lot, like, what was I thinking? What am I feeling? The feeling is, I know I have a job to do. I know that this is a long season, and I would imagine, whenever that point is, whether it's sometime in September or one walk, hopefully later in October, that it really hits me when it's, it is different. And from that standpoint, I think then you get into reflection mode and ultimately what it is. But on the funnier side of this was when I was joking with the media. It's like, I don't know why people want to boo me anymore. They know I'm done, right? They should be celebrating it. Get them out of here.
Yeah.
So from that standpoint, I thought that was kind of cute. And, look, it is a long season, and there's still lots of things that are going to transpire between now and whenever our season ends. And in the meantime, I hope we have a fun and entertaining summer.
Was there, the final thing here, maybe this is looking too much into it, but is there an edge with this team? Like, do they hear all the other stuff about, I don't know about the Cardinals this year, blah, blah, blah. Does that get down to the players? Are they going to play? Do you sense, is there talk at all about using that as motivation?
Well, I definitely think they realize that they're not favored for anything. And, they read, media outlets, they have phones, they know what's going on. And I think, like, whether it's a true edge or not, it's hard to say, but I think they're definitely aware of it. And I think there's, something that we want to harness, because we do think there's talent in that clubhouse. We do think we could surprise some people. But again, all that is about, you got to go out and just do your job every day. And if you do that, we think we'll be pretty good.
It is a long season for sure, but the Cardinals are off to a terrific start, 2-0. John Mozeliak has been with us on Sports on a Sunday Morning. I appreciate these visits. Thanks for jumping in a little early to keep your day moving and our day moving, and best of luck today as you navigate that weather.
All right. Thanks, Tommy.
Appreciate it. John Mozeliak with us on KMOX. 11:33. The Cardinals are in first place in the NL Central. The Milwaukee Brewers, let's check in and see how they did yesterday. Oh, my goodness. Aaron Judge combined with Paul Goldschmidt and Cody Bellinger to go deep on the first 3 pitches from Nestor Cortez, then hit 2 more home runs as the Yankees set a team record with 9 home runs against the Milwaukee Brewers. Judge hit a solo homer, his 9th career grand slam, a 2-run shot in his 40th multi-homer game, 3rd with 3 homers, finished with a career-high 8 RBIs in New York's 20-9 victory. He came up just short of becoming the 19th player to hit 4 home runs in a game when his 6th-inning fly ball to the right field warning track fell for a run-scoring double. But a 20-9 win for the Yankees over the Milwaukee Brewers. So the standings right now in the NL Central, Cardinals off to a 2-0 start. Cincinnati's 1-1. Cubs 2-3. Remember, they played some games in Japan against the Dodgers. Pirates 1-2, and the lowly Brewers are 0-2. That'll change, though. Don't worry. It's going to be an interesting year without question in the NL Central. We're going to take a break. We're going to update you on a couple more things going on around baseball, including right-hander Max Scherzer, the St. Louisan, on the 15-day injured list because of inflammation in his right thumb. That's just coming in from the Toronto Blue Jays. Back in a moment. This is Sports on a Sunday Morning on KMOX. Bernie Miklasz in 6 minutes.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. Consult a doctor prior to use.
Wow, you look amazing. What have you been doing? I'm sure you've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications, right? Well, I found this great company called Zelfie. If you qualify, their providers can prescribe medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1 medications that are 80 to 90% less expensive, all 100% online. I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No doctor's office or pharmacy? Yes, Zelfie can provide semaglutide or tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, but for 80 to 90% less and shipped directly to your door. How do I get started with Zelfie? Just send them a text.
Text MIND to 200-300 to get started today with Zelfie. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic, but for 80 to 90% less and 100% online. Don't wait. Text MIND to 200-300 right now for a link to your exclusive offer. Text MIND to 200-300. That's MIND to 200-300. MIND to 200-300.
I'm Debbie Monterey, and I see more clearly thanks to the doctors at Ophthalmology Associates. Make your appointment today at 314-966-5000 or online at yourEyeDoc.com.
Schedule your free tree inspection from Gamma Tree Experts now. I'm Tim Gamma. Our certified arborist and horticulturist are ready to meet you in preparation of the coming season. Winter is always hard on a lot of trees here in St. Louis. If you have a tree that you're really concerned about, let us come take a look at it for free. I'm Tim Gamma. Give me a call at 725-6159. That's 314-725-6159. Your trees deserve the best care from Gamma Tree Experts.
Do you ever wonder if you've saved enough to retire? Well, you can discover how you can make your money go a lot further in retirement in a 3-hour adult education class. It's called Retirement Planning 101. Hey, it's Sue Thomas, and this is a one-night class. It's taught by a fiduciary advisor from Financial and Tax Architects. They have decades of financial planning experience, and they hold these classes at colleges and libraries throughout St. Louis. You'll learn about reducing your taxes, maximizing your Social Security income, paying for health care, everything. And there's no cost. It's free. They ask that you bring 3 canned goods for a St. Louis Crisis Nursery. There are a handful of openings for classes this month and next. So register by calling 314-947-2012. 314-947-2012. It's the Sue Thomas number.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, millions of men experience ED, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. At HIMSS, our own board-certified urologist, Dr. Peter Stahl, knows this better than anyone, and he knows that HIMSS can help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS.
Through HIMSS.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs. Options at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% less than brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
Hey, it's Matt Pauley telling you about i3 Broadband. Are you thinking about upgrading your internet in your home? Probably a pretty good decision to do so if maybe you're with the cable company or you're with some of those big companies. i3 Broadband, it's amazing. They provide the home internet at my home. Super fast. They always mirror their upload and download speeds, which is a really big deal. You won't realize how much faster your internet can be. Plus, it's reliable. The customer service is great. See if they're available in your neighborhood. Put your address in at i3broadband.com.
Now, back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning on 104.1 KMOX. From the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, here is Tom Ackerman.
Cardinals and Twins today on KMOX, so 1:15 first pitch. We just got off the phone with John Mozeliak. It was nice to chat with him. The Cardinals will take on the Twins at 1:15. He tells us it's kind of hit or miss on this rain, but they are monitoring things and hoping to stay dry today for this 1:15 contest. Joe Pott will be with us live from Busch Stadium with Network pregame at 12:20. He'll come on for a little bit after the noon news. Cincinnati, Chicago, Pittsburgh, Milwaukee, they're all 500 or worse. Cardinals off to a nice 2-0 start. The other undefeated teams in the National League are the Phillies. They're 2-0. The Dodgers are 5-0. and the Padres are 3-0. Well, that Padres team is not going to go away. They're going to be very interesting to watch this year. You watch. The Cardinals, I just don't know. I mean, they're 2-0, and it's exciting, but we're not going to start putting them in the conversation of best teams in the National League. You want to see it over a period of time, but it's a really good start for them without a doubt. They needed a good start just to get everyone feeling good about them. We had a little bit of news coming in that Roki Sasaki's home debut ended in the second inning. They still, of course, the Dodgers are undefeated, but they still end up winning. But Sasaki doesn't look right. He had control problems. He had 4 walks. He threw 61 pitches to just 12 batters and was pulled with 2 outs in the second inning, with the Detroit Tigers taking on the Dodgers yesterday. And then when the game was over, it was in the Dodgers' favor. They just find ways to do that, as it turns out. 7-3, they get the win anyway. That's just what they do. Joining us on the line is Bernie Miklas, and our visits with Bernie are sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer. Good morning, Bernie.
Hey, good morning, Tom. How are you, buddy?
Going great. I'm just going through a little bit of baseball here with the folks, and the Cardinals take on the Twins today. And let me start with this, an announcement that I made earlier in the show we're very excited about. You host with me the Gas House Gang on KMOX at noon on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays. I'll be on there Thursday, Friday. Chris Ranji has various guests, including you. But you and I share the stage with Ranj on Tuesday, and we're going to be joined every Tuesday now from 12:05 to 12:30 by none other than Cardinals manager Oliver Marmol. I am very much looking forward to this visit with the skipper and the three of us, Bernie.
Yeah, very much so. You know, I was talking to Ollie recently, I would say in the last week or so, and he said, you know, I'd like to come on and do the show differently. He said, I want to have, you know, I want people to get to know me better. And he said, I also want tough questions. He said, so if, you know, the fans have conveyed to any of you guys, they have a problem with this, they don't understand why I did that. I want to be pressed on it. I want to explain it. I want to let them in on the process. And, you know, I thought it was a great idea. And I was kind of flattered he wanted me to, you know, be a part of that. And, you know, I think he also wants to show the human side of himself a little bit. So I'm really looking forward to it. And I've said this a bunch of times. The one thing about Ali Marmol is he's very unique because he not only doesn't mind tough questions, he wants them. Like, he wants to be questioned about, why did you do that? What were you thinking? You know, could you have done this instead? He invites that kind of stuff. There's nothing thin-skinned about him whatsoever, and I really respect that about him.
Absolutely. And you know, I visited with him along those lines, and he really looks forward to doing that, wants to be more interactive. He loves that. I mean, I did an event with him that we did not broadcast with fans last year during the offseason. Boy, they were coming at him left and right with all kinds of strategy and inside questions. He answered every single one. I agree with you, Bernie. He is a conversationalist, and he wants the fans to have an opportunity to challenge him a bit.
And there's going to be a way. Maybe you can fill us in here, because I can't. You know, and I know Ranji will do this. We also want fans to weigh in. We want them to ask questions through our text line or some other means. And even if they have something about Ali they don't like, if they want to put it in front of them and, you know, get them to talk about it. I mean, now we're going to ask fans to be reasonable here, you know, and the way it works in our culture now, you know, you can't put someone on the spot. You can't ask them tough questions. People expect us to like scream at the guy or something, you know, and same with text messages or anything you want to address to Ali Marmol. I mean, it can be tough in nature, but it's probably better if it's very tough, but also civil. So
Sure.
I just wanted to throw that out there.
No, that's right. He'll see him. And by the way, he was last year starting to indicate that he just wants to get in front of the fans and talk to them, you know. Right. And I think he embraces it. As you said, he's a baseball guy. And you know what? I don't have a lot of complaints about him right now. I mean, he's managed 2 terrific baseball games, Bernie. The Cardinals are off to a great start.
They're doing everything right. The thing that jumps out about it, okay, we've seen Cardinals teams start the season 2-0, and 2-0 is just 2 games and all that good stuff. But you wanted to see some early evidence, some early signs that they're better and that they're sharper. And I think they've been really tight, as in sharp, in all areas. I mean, the starting pitching, they've allowed, the first 2 games, Gray and Fetty allowed 8 base runners out of the 40 that they faced. And, the bullpen's been lights out. You see the offense with a lot of great 2-strike hitting, 2-out hitting, small ball with, Victor Scott, his speed, making things happen. I mean, Lars Nootbaar is showing why he has all the skills, everything necessary to be a great leadoff man. It's just a matter of him getting the chance of putting it together. The Arenado start, there's nothing fluky about it. And listen, I'm not doing anything like taking a victory lap because it's only 2 games. But I told people over and over again that what his best month and a half, 2 months last season, it's when he had his quickest bat of the season in terms of bat speed, which is clocked. He had great numbers. And I knew he was working on that all off season, making his hands quicker. And we saw that in the first game, and we saw that yesterday. He has a quicker bat, which is something that I said to look out for. And so I don't think there's anything kind of like, oh, well, whatever. It's still the same guy. He's not the same guy now because the bat's quicker. However, of course he's going to have to prove this over a long period of time, but this is an encouraging start.
It is absolutely an encouraging start. And the top of the order in Lars Nootbaar, followed by Contreras and Donovan, is a pretty scary threesome in front of him if they can get on base, not to mention some of the other possibilities you have lower in the lineup. There's a lot of intrigue with this team right now. I'm not saying they're the 27 Yankees, but they've got some talent to get going here. A lot of guys seem to be looking to prove themselves.
Yeah, and the defense has been great. And, Brent Brown, listen, we in St. Louis like to, in effect, just devour hitting coaches. Whenever there's a slump, the hitting coach is an idiot or whatever. Well, I always say, well, you kind of got to wait a while. You got to look at a whole body of work. But I will say this, it's only 2 games, but I defy anyone to look at those first 2 games and the quality of at-bats, incredible quality of at-bats. And I would like someone to tell me, how many times they can remember games, back-to-back games, where the quality of the at-bats was really, really high. These guys are swinging at strikes. They're working counts. They go deep into counts. They're fouling balls off. I mean, it's just a really pleasant thing to watch because in the past, we all know this, the last couple of years, the offense had been very good. A lot of it is just they took a lot of really bad at-bats. I got to be honest about it. They took too many strikes, swung at too many pitches out of the zone. They're making the pitchers work. They're making the pitchers throw them what they want. They want to hit strikes, and they have a great 2-strike approach. It's been really impressive, and I think we just see some evidence. It might be a little evidence, but we're seeing some evidence that the philosophy that Brent Brown has brought to this job, which is why I love the hiring, because he was 5 years with the Dodgers, which means he's smart. The things that he preaches, it looks like the players have listened to, and they're trying to carry out the game plan.
Yes. And then, you look at the Cardinals, the way they start games, and right now they're just kind of rolling them off the assembly line. These, pitchers, they're going to give you the best they can for 5 or 6. You got 5 from Sonny Gray. You got 6 from Eric Fetty. Fetty was pretty tough yesterday, and Gray, without his fastball at 94, is making do.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I think it helps to have a really good defense behind them. And listen, the Cardinals benefited from their defense last year. They were in the upper half of defensive runs saved in the majors. They were good defensively. We all know Jordan Walker, when he was playing for the Cardinals, he struggled in right, but he looks better out there. Scott looks terrific. We know Nootbaar can go get it. Siani comes off the bench. Already saw him make a great catch. Donovan's really good at second base. Arenado speaks for himself. So does Wynn at shortstop. I thought Herrera's looked good behind the plate. We know Pages is good behind the plate. I think Wilson Contreras has handled himself really well the first couple of games. And Wilson hasn't hit yet, but he's taken great at bats. I'm not worried about him. But, if you look at the top 4 of the Cardinals lineup, and if you let's just look at Nootbaar and Donovan and Arenado. In the first 2 games, those guys were 11 for 23, a double, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs and 6 runs scored. I mean, that's what you need from those spots in the order. And the way I look at it is Contreras went 0 for whatever the first 2 games. All that means to me is that there's some base hits coming soon.
Yeah, that's right. I think that it's an impressive start to the season for the Cardinals. Certainly, it's important to remember that it is a long season, but just enjoy what you're seeing so far and see if they can pull one off today. Nolan Gorman is in the lineup, and the Cardinals will shift things around as they'll put Donovan out in left, and they'll take Walker's day off and put out in right field Lars Nootbaar. So, again, that lineup for the Cardinals, and we'll hear Joe Pott give it in our network pregame. It's going to be interesting to see it today with Gorman in there. You have that same 5, Bernie, with Nootbaar, Contreras, Donovan, Arenado, Burleson.
Yeah, and this is Gorman's got to show that he can get something going. It was a tough spring for him. I know he was kind of reworking his swing. He tried something one way, had nothing to do with Brant Brown. And then Brant Brown's got him back and to say, hey, this is what we think you need to do. So I'll be curious to see when the results start to come. But, Tom, you mentioned it's only 2 games. But I look at it this way. I look at it in the abstract. What did we want to see? I think Cardinals fans wanted to see this team coming out of the gate, played with energy. They had fun. They were in it. They were locked in mentally, playing really smart baseball. You wanted to see some improvement. My point is, you can't measure everything by stats. And even though the stats the first 2 games are great, and I am, of course, nicknamed a long time ago, Stat Boy. I am Stat Boy. but not everything is stats. If you just look at the team, what's the visual? Does that team in 2 games? It's a 2-game sliver of a sample, but was there something about them? Is the vibe different? Is the look different? Is the energy different? Is the plate discipline different? Is the defense sharp? Are the pitchers making pitches? Are they not walking people?
Mm-hmm.
Things like that. I mean, there was if from a visual aspect, it's just a team that looks different than it did last year. But again, we all know this. You got to do it for 6 months, not for a few days.
Right. I'm all about taking the snapshots and moments of a baseball game and measuring it up. So did I like that at bat? Did I like the way he tracked that ball? Did I like the way he got out of that inning? Did I love the fact that Wilson Contreras got lucky and only locked arms with that runner at first base for about a second when Fetty threw the ball off the mark? And you dodge something there and things like that. It is really, really special. I try not to get too far ahead of myself and say, like you said, that anything more than what I see in front of me. Did it meet my expectations? Did it exceed them? I would say yes and yes. Also, Bernie, I can now dare to dream about the Blues. That's different. Wow. The Blues, to me, look like a team that is going to be very difficult to bounce out of this playoff. If they play like this, I mean, anything's possible.
That was as impressive a win yesterday as they've had all season, because Colorado's really good. And Colorado's also been really hot as of late. And so you go into their building and it's anybody's game, and the Blues play them really tough, but it's up for grabs. And the Blues, get that 3rd period goal by Buchnevich and then just kind of have to hold the Avalanche off in the final 2 minutes with the desperation on the Colorado side. And the Blues held tough. And this has been an extraordinary development. And, we see all the good young players coming to the surface and making things happen. We see veterans playing better than they have in a long time. We've seen them covering for injuries, Colton Parayko especially. And the Blues in 2019, by the way, I'm not predicting the 2025 Blues are going to win the Stanley Cup. I'm not. But what I am saying is that when the Blues were at their best and their most dangerous in the postseason, they were a great team at 5-on-5. That was Craig Berube's thing. That season, their 5-on-5 play was exceptional. And since Jim Montgomery took over on November the 25th, the Blues are factually, because I check it every day, the Blues are the best 5-on-5 team in the NHL. I mean, their share of the goals scored at 5-on-5 is ridiculous. It's so good. So they've got that great foundation under them of 5-on-5 hockey. And that was the Berube way. Jim Montgomery was an assistant under him. some of the same principles. I mean, it's really kind of a beautiful thing, and the way the players have responded. And Tom, and this might be something we can look forward to in terms of the Cardinals. I think that the Blues young players and all that they're doing and all of their energy and the fact you see them growing up just like that and becoming really good players all of a sudden, I think that stuff fires up the veterans. I think it gets the veterans excited. And that's when you got something going. I think that it's possible we could see the same dynamic with the Cardinals. Lars Nootbaar, Nolan Arenado, really good friends. I think Arenado is really, really happy just being around all these young, energetic guys that are just sort of going bananas in a good way. I think it's kind of rubbing off on him a little bit.
I could absolutely see that with this Cardinals team if they can follow that pattern. And the Blues really accelerated, didn't they, when they were able to get what they got out of Broberg and Holloway? I mean, that just took things into warp speed. Not even Doug Armstrong, who told us on the Gas House Gang, didn't even have that expectation.
Yeah, and then he makes that late summer signing for Ryan Suter. It turned out to be great. He doesn't not even getting paid that much, and he's as steady as they get. And then the trade for Cam Fowler 10 days before Christmas, that defenseman, he's had new life in St. Louis because Anaheim's been just kind of this losing. Cam Fowler has been outstanding. So that's those are two of the reasons why the Blues have been able to do well despite losing Parayko, who was having a great season. And also the forecheck system that Montgomery installed after the Four Nations tournament break. The Blues are much more dogged and much more persistent on their forecheck. And I haven't seen that probably since the glory days, so to speak, of when Craig Berube hockey was at its best. So that's a good sign too. Absolutely is. Bernie Miklas, sponsored by Saligi Heating and Cooling, an American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer. Follow along. His videos on YouTube are must watches. The Bernie Show. He also joins us on the Gas House Gang weekdays at noon, and Ollie Marmol will be our guest starting every Tuesday at 12:05. Bernie, thanks for the time on Sports on a Sunday Morning. I appreciate you. As always, man. Love it. Thank you. Great visit right there with Bernie Miklas. Before that, John Mozeliak, Lutz Van den Steel, Marc Schreiber, Jarveon Howard. It's been a fun show. We appreciate you joining us on the show. Cardinal baseball is coming up next. The Cardinals and the Twins. For those of you listening for City and Austin, that will be on Y98 FM. This is 104.1 FM KMOX.
Get this, 42% of baby boomers don't even know how much money they have in their nest egg. If you're not sure where you stand in terms of getting ready for retirement, you should be listening to the All Financial Hour with Steve All.
Let's sit down and talk about your questions, because I think that's the most important thing that it is out there. It's what questions do you have?
Saturday mornings at 10 or Sunday evenings at 6, right here on KMOX.
The AC's Jerry Kelly keeps purring aren't interstellar spacecraft, and as good as our techs are, they aren't space scientists or surgeons. We think they're about somewhere in the middle. Because while you might not give a hoot about this week's space launch, you sure as sunshine care when your AC goes down. Well, good news. A Jerry Kelly producing tune-up is just 98 smackers right this very moment. $98 for an entire summer's worth of peace of mind. Yeah.
They're fast and they're good and they got it going on. JerryKelly.com.
You are a successful electrical contractor, but you plus a dedicated team supporting your project from day one? That's taking your productivity to the next level. And Graybar can help you get there. Your relationships plus our relationships. Your capabilities plus our job site services. Your challenges plus our technical specialists. You alone can get the job done.